Okay, bring it to me, please. All right. We're going to talk about, obviously, dividing. Thank you. We're going to talk about dividing. Now, I want to remind you of a couple of things. I want to review for you. We've already sort of talked about this year, but let's remember our parts to a division problem. Okay, our parts are dividend divided by divisor equals quotient. Okay. Now, if we were to put that in our normal, what y'all are used to, it would be this. It would be divisor dividend quotient. Okay? That's how the parts look. All right, now, what we're going to be discussing today is a problem, for example, like this. 13 into 303. Okay, so if we were to set this up horizontally, it would look like this. Okay, those two problems are equivalent or the same. Okay, so make sure that you understand that. Okay, so you make sure you divide the right one into the right numbers. Okay, now so we're dividing 13 into 303. Okay, well we just start here. 13 goes into 30 how many times? Judah? Twice. 13 goes into 30 two times. That would be 2 times 13, which is 26. Subtract 26, 30 and 26 would give me 4. Bring down my 3. Okay? So 13 goes into 43 how many times? Cameron? How many? 4 times? Let's see. Nope, not going to go 4. Wait. Nope, too much. Brittany, 3 times. 3 times 13 is 39. Okay? You subtract those two and you get 4. So my answer is, because I don't have any other numbers to bring down, my answer then is 23 remainder 4. So in a lot of these problems, the majority of them that you're going to do out of this, you're going to have remainders. Okay? There are a few that don't have a remainder, but most of these are. Now, here's how you can check your work. You don't have to check your work. I'm not requiring it, although I should. I'm not requiring it. I'm just saying that you can, and here's how you would do it. To check your work, you would simply take this, 23 and 13, and multiply them together. Okay? 23 times 13 would give me 9 and a 6, bring down my 0, a 3 and a 2, and that would give me 299. And you're going, well, that's not the answer. No. But then I have to take our remainder, 4, and add it to the 299. When you do that, you get 303, which is this and that. They check out. Okay? So it did check. That is correct. Like I said, I am not requiring you to do that. It would be a good idea. Okay? I'm not going to count off if you don't. That's just a good way to check and make sure you've done it properly. Okay? Now, I want to look at another problem. This one here says 25 into 650. Now, a little trick that you can do to help yourself out. How many times does 2 go into 6? Tayshawn? 3 times. That can give us an estimate of how many times 25 goes into 65. Now, we know that 3 times 25 is what? If I have 3 quarters, how much do I have? Nick? 75 cents. So 3 times 25 is 75. That's larger than 65. So I've got to drop it down. I can't do 3, but I have to do what? 2. So I'm going to put 2 right there. Make sure that you put it above the correct number. Okay? Don't tell me that 25 goes into 6 2 times. Okay? Because obviously it doesn't. So 2 times 25 is 50. You subtract those 2, that would be 15. Bring down your 0. 25 goes into 150. Judah, 6 times. And that would be 150. Remainder 0. So this is one that obviously doesn't have a remainder. So I just put 26. Okay? Any questions on that one? All right, I want you to try this one on your own. 862 divided by 82. All right, so you should have set it up this way, obviously. I'm going to call for answers, so just hang on. That's the way it should have been set up. Okay? Who has an answer for me? Brittany? 10 remainder 42. What? 10 remainder 42? Yes, that is correct. 10 remainder 42. Now, here's why it is that. Okay? We say, okay, let me move it up. 82 goes into 86 one time, be 82, remainder 4, bring down my 2. 82 does not go into 42, so I put a 0. So I put a 0 there, subtract it. So there's your remainder. Okay, and then obviously your 10 is right here. Okay, so 10 remainder 42 would be your answer. Quade? Can I do another one? No. Yeah. All right, let's look at, let's see here. There we go. 6,523 divided by 33. Okay, so the second number goes on the outside, 6,523 on the inside. Okay, so we ask ourselves, how many times does 33 go into 65? Nick? No. Isaiah? One time. Goes one time, and that's 33. And we subtract. 65 minus 33 is 32. Now, if your remainder is ever bigger than your divisor, then you've made a mistake. Okay? Means you need to increase the quotient number, okay, by 1. Judah? Huh? Yes. All right, so now I'm going to bring down my 2, and I've got 33 into 322. Okay? Well, I can look at the 3. 3 goes into 32 how many times? 3 into 32? Okay, stop. Raise your hand. How many 3 times what would equal 32? Judah. 3 times 0 is equal to 32? 3 times what equals 32? Or get me close, Quade.
8 times.
Sophia. Okay. It's 10 or 11, but we know that you can't have 10 or 11. So what's the one-digit number I can have is 9. Okay. So 9, we're going to try 9. That's our estimate. 9 times 3 is 7. Carry my 2. That's going to be 297. Okay, now if I subtract those, I get, let's see here, it's 25, looks like. So now I'm going to bring down my 3 and put it with 253. Keep putting it over the wrong number. Okay, 3 goes into 25 8 times. Okay, so we're going to use our estimate to be 8. 8 times 3 is 4. Carry my 2. 8 times that's 264. Okay, well that's wrong. Okay, that's wrong because 253 is smaller than 264. So I got to erase the 8, erase the 264, and go to 7. That would be 1. 3 times 7 is 21. It'd be 1. Carry my 2. That would be 231. I subtract those 2, I get 22. So 197, remainder 22. Okay. Now let's look at number 28. 28 is 12 into 600. Okay, they want us to use mental math. Okay, so then that's sort of what we were doing a while ago. 12 goes into 60 how many times? We know 5 times what? Whoops, I just gave you the answer. We know that 12 times what equals 60? 5. So I know 5, but I got another 0, so it's just 50 times. Huh? Well, I mean, how you solve it mentally is not really, I mean, realistically, I can't really tell how you're solving it mentally. I'm just giving you an example of a way to do it, is by looking at the first 2 digits of the number and the 2 digits of the number you're dividing by, and see, like, for example, on this one, 29. 29 says 70 and 840. Well, see, the way I look at that is I look at the 7 and the 84. Okay, how many times does 7 go into 84? 7 times what equals 84? Nick. Help him out, Tayshawn. 7 times 1 is 84? No, I'm not dividing it out. I don't want you to sit there and just redo what you did, Nikki. 7 times 12. So if 7 times 12 is 84, then 70 times 840 is going to be 12. And you're going to put them right there. Okay? And so that's what they're talking about by using mental math, is to, either estimate, find some way. You still must come up with the exact answer. Okay? You can't just say, it's about 48 instead of 50. Okay? You still have to come up with the exact answer. Okay? But they want you to think through it mentally and see if you can do it mentally instead of having to write it out on paper. Okay? Mentally does not mean you stick it into a calculator. Okay? That's not mental. That's touch. Okay? There's not much mental to that. All right? So, let's look at page 40. I want you to look at number 40 on page 40. Hey, that's good. All right. We're going to look at number 40 on page 40. Okay? They've basically given us a box. Okay? They've given us a box. All right, on this box, we've created some lines. You have an X and Y. We call this an input/output table. Okay, this is dealing with what we call in algebra functions. Okay, we'll talk more about functions as the year goes on. For our purposes right now. All right. Now, in the box, they have this rule. Okay, they have the rule y equal x divided by 33. In the X boxes, there you go. In the X boxes, I got Quade's attention. X box, where? 396, 660, 1,056, and 2,574. Okay? What they want us to do is they want us to find the empty spaces or the empty boxes, which is the Y. So, what we're going to do then is we're going to take the rule y equal x. That looks like that's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a division sign. I got too carried away. Okay, y equal x divided by 33. They want you to take this 396 and plug it in for y. So they want you to do this. Okay, they want you to substitute in 396 for x. Now they want you to solve or simplify. Now here's how you do that. Simply take 396 and divide it by 33. Okay, 33 goes into 39 one time, be 33, remainder 6, bring down a 6, 33 into 66 goes 2 times, be 66, remainder 0. So this says that y is equal to the 12. So I'm going to go back here to my table and plug in the 12 right there. Okay? So the next step would be then to take the 660 and plug it into our rule. Okay? And then that means I'm going to take 33 into 660. That's what y is equal to. 33 goes into 66 how many times? 2 times. Be 66, remainder 0, bring down a 0. Judah, how many times does 33 go into 0? 0 times. So that means y is equal to 20. So I take and I put that 20 into my table. Okay? The last two you're going to have to do on your own tonight in that box. Okay? But that's how you do the first two. You do the last two the same way we did the first two. Okay? Now, I want you to look at number 42. Okay, 42 says the table shows the number of souvenirs that Lillian has on display at the Calle Ocho Festival. Quaid invented that festival. Lillian puts rubber bands around each dozen pins. How many rubber bands does she use? So first of all, we have to know how many pins she used. How many pins does she have? Nikki? No. Look at the table. Shania, how many pins does she have? Yes, 1,032 pins. So she has 1,032 pins. Now, she wants them divided up into 12s, or 1 dozen. So how am I going to figure out how many 1 dozens I have in that 1,032? Judah? You're going to divide... by... There you go. You said it backwards. That's why I was trying to get you to rephrase it. We're going to take 1,032 and divide it by 12 because 1 dozen equals 12. Okay? So that's 12 into 1,032. So, how many times does 12 go into 10? 0 times, right? Into 10? 12 doesn't go into 10? How many times does 12 go into 103? Tayshawn? Nope, it can't go more than 10. It's got to be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1. 9? No, too much. You're close, but it's too much. Isaiah? Nope, not enough. Jacob, glad to see you woke up finally. Nope. Quaid? Huh? No. Wow. Nikki, 8 times. That's why you're supposed to know your times tables. 6 times 12 is 72. 5 times 12 is 60. 8 times 12 is 96. That's why you're supposed to have those memorized without having to think about it for 5 minutes. Now, you take those two away from each other, and it's 7, and I bring down my 2. 12 into 72. 12 times what equals 72? I just told you what it was. Quade. Judah? 6. Thank you. Yeah, oh. Oh. All right. So they have to have 86 rubber bands. Okay? So, now we've done one from every single group you're going to have tonight. So let's remember 2.4, 16 through 34 even. Now you should have already written this down. Then we have number 40. Then we have 42 through 47. Okay? All right, go ahead and get started on it.